Welcome, welcome. I hope everybody had a wonderful day today. Hope your day is going good. I just did a live a couple minutes ago. Um, Come on in. We got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about mental health, recognize a mental health crisis, and gaining tools to help you get through your crisis. So I'm gonna wait till some people come in and make sure y'all can hear me, because the last live I did, it wasn't no sound to it. So come on in. Once some people come in, I will get started on my demonstration. Looking forward and sharing this demonstration. And when you come in, hit the like, share this video. Like and share, like and share, like and share. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I want to make sure you good people out there can hear me before I even start this live again. Okay, we're about to get started on this demonstration. I have a lot of key points I want to point out that's going to help you recognize whether you in a mental health crisis or not. So, all right, let me get started. So, recognizing when you're in a mental crisis. Okay, step one. Sometimes you get overwhelmed by emotions. You feel out of control. You feel angry. You feel sad. Sometimes you deal with anxiety, fear that you can't manage your feelings, your emotions. You may cry easy. You get angry fast, or you might feel completely numb. Step two, you might feel hopeless or trapped. Sometimes when you're dealing with so much, you got so much on your plate, so much you have to get done. You become overwhelmed. And sometimes you start feeling hopeless, like you can't get these things done. Um, you know, you don't have no help. Um, you just have to press through because you know the things you have to do is very important. And then you feel like you trapped. And I say you feel trapped because you know you got to take care of what you need to take care of. But you're so overwhelmed with emotions, you don't know how you're going to press your way through. You start to believe nothing will get better, or that there is no way out of the situation you in. So then you start thinking, what's the point? Or no one cares. So you come very overwhelmed with these emotions and these feelings. Another way to recognize you in a mental health crisis is your behavior changes. You stop doing the things you normally enjoy. You isolate from family and friends. You don't want to talk to nobody. You know, You don't want to go out. You just don't want to do the things you normally do. Then you start acting recklessly. Sometimes people get overwhelmed and start doing things that's not in their character, like drinking, drugging, engaging in dangerous behavior, all these type of things because you flooded with your emotions and you don't know how to handle the situation. So you partake in these things. The physical side the physical signs of recognizing you in a crisis when you start having trouble sleeping or you sleep too much. You have a change in your appetite, your energy feel low, your body aches, and there's no clear cause of why your body aches. Um, you have difficult thinking clearly. You can't focus. You can't make sound decisions. You can't slow down the racings of your thought. And sometimes you might feel confused or disconnected from reality. You know, you in this fantasy world and you see everything the way you see it, but it's not the way it really is. Another part of recognizing you're in a mental crisis when you start getting these crazy thoughts of self-harm or thoughts of suicide, and thoughts of wanting to die, harm yourself, you want to escape permanently. These are the serious warning signs when you definitely in need of help, because you definitely is in the midst of a mental health crisis. And these are signs that you have to take heed to so you can get you some help. Now, what you need to do, first of all, you have to acknowledge the fact that you're in a crisis. Don't memorize it or tell yourself to tough it out. You have to recognize that mental health is just part of your physical health. So you have to reach out to somebody, you know, talk to somebody you trust, call a friend, a family member, a pastor, a counselor. Call somebody who can help you and talk you through this. Keep the suicide crisis on speed dial if you have to. You got to step away from stressful things sometimes. Stressful people, stressful environment, things that trigger you. You got to find a quiet place where you're able to breathe and calm your mind so you can get back on track. And most times you could take deep breath, exhale, inhale, get into a place where you can settle yourself. Or even you can start writing down what you're feeling or saying it out loud. And sometimes when you say these things out loud or you write them down, it releases the pressure of what's going on with you. Um, it helps in all ways. And one, you have to develop yourself a crisis plan, and this is where you gain and tools to help yourself. First thing to gain and choose is connecting with a support system. Reach out to a therapist, a doctor, a mental health worker, somebody who's supportive, somebody who's going to listen to you without judgment. Um, Make you a develop a crisis plan, where you can keep emergency contact on speed dial, you know, um, like I said, writing your feelings and thoughts down, going for a walk, playing music, doing something to help you to recollect your thoughts and put you back on track. When you identify your triggers early on, you'll know what to do the next time you find yourself in a crisis. Once you identify what trigger you, then you know what to do the next time. And then follow up with some self-care. You have to care for yourself. You have to eat right, get the proper rest, all the necessary things you do when you're going through something physical. When we deal with high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes and everything. We have to eat proper. We have to get the proper nutrition, the proper rest, and all. This goes as well as far as for your mental health too. You know, it takes time to heal. So you want to do what's right that's right for you. And let me just say this, let me just clear this up. Mental health is not a weakness. It don't mean you weak for struggling. You strong for recognizing the fact that you need help. No, mental crisis is not the end. It's just a signal of you, a sign for you to take time to slow down, reach out, and begin healing. That's what it is. Don't never think that you're weak because you're going through a mental health crisis. Um, Mental health crisis can happen to anybody. Like I said, this is part of your health. So everybody had mental health. Whether it's stable or not, everybody has a mental health, just like their physical health. And mental health crisis happen with your emotions, your thoughts, and your behavior. You know, something you can't manage. When you feel unbalanced, things are not going the way they should go, and you thinking another way. It's not just a feeling. It's not just feeling off. It's a daily life. It's something you deal with every day, and you got to know your emotional warning signs. And like I said before in the beginning, you start feeling hopeless, helpless, or like you don't want to live. That's signs of fact that you're in a crisis. You get intense anxiety. You start having panic attacks. You have fear that won't go away. You have sudden rage. You be irritated or emotional, numb. You start feeling disconnect, from your family and friends. I know this so well because I deal with my own mental health. Sometimes I have my good days and sometimes I have my bad days, and it's an ongoing thing. Sometimes I could be up, sometimes I could be down. But I took the necessary step on how to help myself when I am in a crisis. I'll reach out, call people, talk to people that I know is not going to judge me. I know they're going to be there for me. And I have to call somebody who I know who can relate to what I'm going through or have good advice for me to help me get through. I used to withdraw from my family. I used to withdraw from family, friends, the stuff I used to love doing because I was so depressed I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to get up, didn't want to eat, didn't want to do anything. And I don't like to be in that space. I don't like to be in that place. When it comes, I pray. When it comes, I meditate. Like I said, I'll call somebody because if I stay in it too long, it will overtake me. So me personally, I I use the tools I got to cope. Let me put it that way. Now, when it comes to your behavior, these are some warning signs. Like I said, you withdraw from family, you withdraw from activities, you start using drugs, alcohol, you do anything and everything to escape what you're feeling, you know, um, and that's not good. You know, you feel like you trapped some way, like it's no way out. It's always a plan of escape. It's always a plan to get out of whatever it is that you're in. When the physical part start, when the physical part of your body start acting up because of your mental health, you start being fatigued, you start getting headaches, you start having stomach issues, you start to feel more stress, you feel more drained, you don't have no energy, you don't have no motivation, you feel like you on the edge, you physically tense, you just irritable, and and I think that's what caused us to have these physical diseases because of the way we think. They always say you are what you eat. I say you are what you think. If you think it, you will be it. So if you think you're going to be depressed, if you think you're going to do this and you think you're going to do that, then you're thinking yourself right into it. Okay, this is important. What to do when you notice these signs? When you notice the fact that you're in a crisis, you have to admit to yourself that something isn't right. First of all, you have to tell yourself, okay, something ain't right. Two, you got to reach out for help. You got to talk to somebody. Three, don't isolate, because being alone make the crisis worse. And then you see help. Like I said, there is support out here. You have to get a support system to stay connected. You got to build healthy routines. Uh, you got to keep regular appointments with your mental health doctor. And asking for help is a sign of strength. It's not weakness. It's a sign of strength. So anytime you go to somebody and ask them for help, it helps improve your mental health. Everybody should allow themselves in their time of need to reach out for help. Because we all know someone hurting, and hurting to the point where they need help. This is mental health touches everybody. It touches everybody, whether they, rich, poor, young, old, it doesn't matter. It touches every home, every heart, every generation. But too often we treat it like it's something to whistle about or something to hide. It's time we do better. We have to start understanding mental health and what mental health is. It's not a weakness, it's not a flaw, it's part of your human being. Part of you being human. Now we could talk openly about it, which will help us, and we can recognize that we're not alone. And that's where our healings begin. When we find out we're not alone. It's so sad that they put a stigma on mental health, and they stigmatize just to keep people silenced. Well, whether you know this or not, people die in silence, and you'll never know what they're going through because they never called out for help. They never asked for help. We got to break that stigma, because it helps keep people silent. And I'm telling you, it's okay to say you're okay. When you're not okay, it's okay to say you're okay. Don't say you're okay just to get people out your face or for them to leave you alone. If you truly not okay, it's okay to say okay. That's where your help begins. The more you speak true, the more you free yourself and others to seek help without shame. Let me say that again. The more you speak true, the more you free yourself and you free others to seek help without shame. Don't feel ashamed because of the fact you deal with mental issues. Don't be ashamed that you don't know what to do in a time of need when you're dealing with your mental crisis. There's always somebody out there to help you. And as a community, we must be the support system that so many people are missing. So many people are missing this support. We need to come together as a whole to start helping each other. And maybe we can get, we can cease this mental health to the point where, it won't be causing so much damage and killing in our community. Because a lot of people struggle with mental health. And they act out on their mental health in dangerous ways by taking their life or taking the life of somebody else. We have to put a stop to this. We have to build safe places, whether it's in our churches, in our schools, in our centers, wherever, where people can come and talk and learn and heal, because healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in connection. Let me say that again. Healing does not happen in isolation. It happens in connection. So when you can build yourself a connection with some people, you can build yourself a new way of handling things, a new way of dealing with things. You can heal. We also have to make sure that mental health is accessible for everyone, not just those who can afford it. That's the issue a lot of people have when it's talk about going to get help. They think they can't afford to get the mental help they need because it's too affordable. We should be able to assess mental health in our community. It should be open for us where we can go in without our income status. Every person, no matter their income or background, deserves care, compassion, and a chance to heal. Everybody deserves it. And let's not forget about education. When we teach our young people how to express their emotion, how to cope, how they can ask for help, then we prevent tomorrow's crisis today. We gotta lead by example. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about our own struggles and how we show the strength. And that doesn't mean pretending. It means reaching out. Because when we open up, we give others permission to do the same. Listen to me, you guys. We can't heal what we hide. You cannot get no healing where you hide. If you're sick in that place and you don't move from that place, you're going to stay sick. But when we come together, when we listen, when we care, when we act, we make mental health a community priority. We make it a priority. Because the healing starts with us. We have to be the change to help someone, to help ourselves, to hold on just a little longer, a little deeper, and believe that better days are still possible. We have to hold on. We have to know that our change is going to come. We have to know that we're going to get the help that we honestly deserve. Listen to me, family. Sometimes the biggest battle we face it's not out there in the world. It's right with us. It starts with us. We battle with ourselves on a daily basis. We are our worst enemy. It's not the people out there in the world. It's not the obstacles we deal with, the real struggle comes from within. The real struggle comes within. It's that little voice inside you telling you you can't, you're not ready, you know, you can't heal, you sick. You want that's we got to kill that voice. Too many times we hear that voice in our head telling us you ain't worthy. You ain't nobody wants you. Da, 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 da. We have to kill that voice. We have to kill that voice. Sometimes I feel like sometimes, we don't need God to move the mountain. We just need to step we need to stop standing in front of it. We need to get out of the way. If we can get out of our way, a lot of things can happen. Because I believe we can stand in the way of blocking our own blessing, down our own destiny, questioning what has already been promised to us. We overthink things, or we waiting on the perfect timing, or we rehearsing failure before we even try. I always say, ain't nothing to a failure but a try. How you know you're going to fail if you never tried? Give yourself a chance. Let me remind you now, perfection is not required for progress. One small step forward is greater than standing still in fear. One small step is greater than standing still in fear. I had to tell myself this over and over. If you don't move, you're not going to go nowhere. You're not going to grow. Now I know I still have my challenges of overcoming fear. That's a daily basis thing. Fear doing this, fear do that. My anxiety can get the best of me sometimes, and I hate that it does because it limits my mobility to do things. Just like driving. I used to drive 295 back and forth to work. Since I retired, I get on 295, my anxiety go through the roof. I tried it 2 or 3 times and almost had an accident twice. So I told myself, I ain't even going to take 295 because I don't want to let my emotions overtake me and get myself killed. It'd be just my luck. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. Will I overcome this? I don't know. But I was willing to take a chance to see if I could. And I had got the same results. So, like I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I challenged myself. I challenged myself with a lot of things. Ever since I became disabled, there's certain things I can do and certain things I can't. But I know my limit. I know what I can do and what I can't do. And this used to cause me to feel so bad about my situation because it was certain things I just couldn't do that I can't do no more. But I have to remind myself I am getting older. And it is going to be a lot of things I can't do like I used to do. So that kind of eased my mind and put me, in a different space of thinking because I know I'm doing what's best for me. Another thing I want to bring to your attention is you got to stop trying to control every detail. Stop forcing doors to open. Because what is meant for you, it ain't going to pass you by. You have to trust the process. You have to trust the preparation. You have to trust that even in the waiting, something is working in your favor. Like I said, some battles aren't yours to fight. So we need to stop trying to fight every battle that comes our way, because some battles are not ours to fight. You have to pick and choose which battle is yours. Some doors aren't yours to push down. Some blessings can only flow when you step aside. And that fake work, so you have to get out the way. Point blank period. Get out your way. Get out your mind. Get out your thinking. It's a saying you guys. It's called stinky thinking. When you thinking stuff that just ain't good. Get out your head. Stop overthinking. You know, um, Calm yourself down. Try to put your mind at ease. Doing the necessary things you need to do to have a good mindset. You know, Pray, meditate. Do whatever necessary so you can have a clear vision of what it is you're trying to do or want to do. If you come to some situations where it's causing you a lot of stress, a lot of tension, come up with a plan to get out that situation. Because you don't want to stress over something you cannot change. No. If you have the power to control certain things, then you do what you need to do. But sometimes we don't have the power to control everything. And when I come to a situation that is out of my control, I leave it to God. Because I don't want to get out of control because I can't control certain things. I leave it to God. You know, when you get out your way, when when you step out your own way and you step out of fear, you step out of doubt, you step out of hesitation, that's when you see the peace will flow. You will have a peace of mind. You will have clarity. You will see how miracles unfold right in front of you. You know. So ask me who been standing in their own way. You have. You have to get out your own way. Today, I want you to say this to yourself, and I want you to say it loud. Today I'm stepping aside. Today I'm letting go. Today I'm getting out my own way. Because when you move out the way, that's when God can truly move in. God can do the things that you want him to do. And that's calming your mind, calming your spirit, getting a better grip on life, leading you in the right direction. You know, you wouldn't have to struggle no more. You were able to stand up strong and be proud of the changes that you're going through, without feeling discombobulated and all out of control. Don't overthink things. You know, um, you have to do what's best for you. You are the captain of your ship. You are the most important person in your life. Mental health is a serious crisis. Is a serious health issue that don't get no talk about. And I wanted to bring this to y'all because I know what I had to deal with. I know the things I have been through. The things I had overcome. My personal struggles, my personal pain. You know, um, it haven't been no easy journey. It haven't been no easy road. But I allowed myself, gave myself permission to reach out for help. I have a therapist. I have a counsel. I have a sponsor, and I have friends and family who truly, truly, truly care about me and my well being. So I have a support system, a strong support system that I reach out to in my time of need. Um, I lost so many family members in my life, and it caused me some major pain. And till this day, I still go through it because I miss them, you know, and I have to keep myself in a place where I can't allow what I'm feeling to overtake me. To the point where I want to give up, to the point where I don't want to be here no more. Cause it has happened. You know, I tried to commit suicide twice. Um, when I was on drugs, haven't had them feelings since I've been clean, and it'll be 30 years in November. So I know I'm on the right track and I'm doing what's right. So if you out there and you hear this, please reach out. Please ask for help. You know, don't let your living be in vain. You know, we all have a purpose in life. And when you recognize and know your purpose, you would take care of your mental health. You would take care of you. You would do all the necessary things you need to do in order for you to live. Because I truly believe there's something out there for all of us. Let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107. The Copyright Act of 1976 allows is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. And that's what I'm here to do, to report this, to make you aware, to give you some tools, to give you some help, uplift your spirit, being a vessel of God, you know, that's what my platform is for. Help the ones who in need of help. This is a no off topic podcast. I'm about ready to talk about any and everything if it's going to help my people. I'm one of the ones that got the balls to say what everybody's thinking. I'm not ashamed. So if you find yourself over here on this channel, please like, subscribe, and share this video because you don't know who it might help. It might save somebody. If I could save one person, that's good enough for me. So I hope that you got something out of this demonstration. I hope it helped you in some shape, form, or fashion. And I hope you can use these tools to get yourself back on track. Because like I said, mental health is nothing to deal with, nothing to play with. You have to deal with it the best way you can with what you got. And if I'm giving you tools to help you, then you take and use those tools the best way you can so you can have a better way of living, a better life to live. It is somebody out there who care about you. God loves you, and I do too. So you don't have to give up on life. You're here for a purpose. Please seek help. If you're feeling down, unhappy, that you think you're going to crash out, please seek help. Reach out to somebody. I listen and don't judge. Because there was somebody who listened to me that didn't judge. And I got the best help I could possibly get. And I'm still using it till today. Because we don't know how life going to turn out. You know, life have its ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. You know, you be up one day and down the next. But as long as you got something that can get you through when you're down, then you can use them tools to help you. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I hope this demonstration has been a help to you. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love. Holler at you. Take care. Ooh, ooh. God is good all the time.